We have a great challenge this week all about which products are vegan and which aren't. So let's take a look at our two inputs. So we've got our keywords. So these are products which are not vegan friendly. And then we've got our shopping list. So this is what we're going to buy and which of these are going to be suitable for our vegan friends, which aren't. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to prepare those key ingredients, the non-vegan ingredients. So we kind of don't really need these to be in two separate columns. We'd rather they were all in one column, right? So we're going to do a quick columns to rows pivot, should I say? So, just picking up each of those fields, dragging them over so that we have them all in one field. Then we're going to do an automatic split, or sorry, probably you want to do a custom split for this. So from our values that we have here, we go down to our split values, custom split, on the comma, and do all of them. And that gives you all of these different rows. So if I come down to the bottom here, then we get all of those split out into nice individual ingredients. Then if we do another pivot, then that's really what we want. We want all of those ingredients to be in one field. We just need to add an E in front of the E numbers. So we'll go ahead and do that using a calculation here. Just a simple if calculation saying if the ingredient type is E numbers. So we did a bit of renaming of those pivot 1 values. Then we've got our if that's E numbers, then we want to add an E to the start, otherwise just leave it as is. Nice and simple there. Then we're going to join it to our shopping list. And this is kind of clever. I love this option in Tableau Prep. So if I zoom in there, then you will notice that I'm just joining ingredient to ingredients, and I'm using the operator of not equal to. So that just means that basically because the ingredients / allergens from our right hand side, from our orange input, they're all a list of those ingredients, so they're never going to match up exactly. But by doing the not equals operator, it means that we're going to get each row of each data sort of joining to each other. So making a lot of kind of exploding our data here. It's basically saying for each of those orange steps here, add in all of the different non-vegan ingredients. So that's nice and simple there. Just make it 1,000 rows, not an issue for this small data set. And then we're going to check which of them contains those ingredients. So we're using the immediate if, I think that's what it's called, this function here, the IIF, and we're saying if our ingredients contains that non-vegan ingredient, give it a 1, otherwise give it a 0. So basically giving a flag for any product that contains something that is not vegan. But then obviously we need to go ahead and sort of aggregate that up, because at the moment this is 1 row per non-vegan ingredient. So we want to take the maximum of that field that we just created. So we've got our product and our description, and we've got the maximum. And basically any 1 here is non-vegan, any 0 is vegan. So our vegan products, for our first output, we just need to filter it down to just be the 0 in that instance, and then get rid of that extra field, and we have our vegan items on our shopping list. So that's nice. We can see kind of some surprising things maybe in there, like Tesco bacon rashers. They are vegan, even though they have the word bacon in the title. So then we need to work out of our vegan, non-vegan items, which are the problem ingredients, if you like. So we do the same where we filter just for it to be non-vegan products. We join it back onto our data set on the product so that we get all that information about those non-vegan products. We kind of take it back to the non-aggregated view. And then we're going to just duplicate that field. Oh, sorry. First of all, let's take it back to here for the minute. So we've just done that join nice and simply on our product. And then we get through this kind of non-aggregated field on our flag for which items are not vegan. And we can filter out any of those zeros because these are not contained in any of those products, whereas these are contained. So we do that filtering, and then we get to the end of our changes step and we've just got our product, our description, our ingredient, and then we've duplicated our ingredient too. Because we're going to, basically we want to have it a row for each product and we want to know which of the non-vegan ingredients are in that product in one field without having duplicated rows. So we want there to be one row per product, whereas for example this Alpen has both lactose and milk in it. We would like it to be like milk, lactose, if you catch my drift. So we're going to do a rows to columns pivot where we have our ingredient as our headers, and we're doing a minimum of our ingredient -1, that duplicated field, so that we can see the following. So for each product we've got one row per product now. Then we have sort of in the honey column, it's either going to say null or it's going to say honey. In the gelatine column, it's going to say null or it's going to say gelatine, and so on. You get the picture. Now in Excel, maybe you might be used to the concatenate function, but that doesn't exist in Tableau Prep yet, unfortunately. So what we're going to have to do is something that's quite fiddly. So if you want to be able to copy and paste this calculation, I would suggest you check out our solution blog, but I'll just talk you through what I've written here for the benefit of the video. So we're using that immediate if again. So we're saying if our honey column is null, then have nothing, otherwise have our honey product. So the word honey is basically what that's going to be if it's not null. And then we're going to add on to that. And if our lactose column is not null, then we're adding a little comma and a space and then the lactose word, and so on and so forth. You can get the idea of where we might need to have a comma beforehand. Now, this doesn't work exactly as you want it to initially, because see, you get some of the fields have commas where they don't start with the honey item, which is a shame, but nothing that we can't clean up with another quick calculation. Just saying. So, okay, if that field we just created starts with a comma and then a space, then we're just going to take the right of that field. And how many characters do we want to take? We want to take the length of that field -2 because we've got the comma and the space. So then that just gets rid of the comma and the space from the start of our field, and that's all that we want. And then we just got to get rid of those unnecessary fields, and now we have basically our product, our description, and it won't let me move that. Let me just add on another clean step so that I can move that to the end. Got our product, our description, and what non-vegan product it contains. So, one interesting thing that I saw there was that the Asda guacamole is not vegan because it has milk in it, whereas the Tesco guacamole is vegan. So that's really interesting that different sort of products that you'd think would be vegan in different supermarkets can, be different. So let me just find the Tesco guacamole for you there. If I just search for that, there it is. It's in the vegan list. Interesting. So yeah, be careful if you are vegan. Some products may be different. I'm sure you know that already though. Okay, thanks very much for watching.